happening, everybody? Welcome back to the GR Wisdom channel. I want to thank you all for tuning in once again this evening with me. And for those of you who may be new to my channel, thanks for tuning in. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button and the bell. That way you get all the notifications for all my videos that I post and things of that nature. So for those of you who may be already subscribers, you might see this as slightly a little different than what I'm used to talking about. And this topic right here is a person that I personally listen to, and I listen to his music and I listen to a lot of his interviews. Many people tend to not like his music. Not many people, but some people tend to not like his music, but they love his interviews. Everybody likes his interviews. That from the comments I read. And who I'm talking about is Mr. Kevin Gates, or the rapper known as Kevin Gates. The rapper slash personality, Kevin Jerome Gilyard, and his rise to stardom up until his recent sentencing. And that's what he's basically making the headlines for, which is why I titled this video, What Young Men and Believers, and when I say believers, I mean as far as those of faith and things of that nature, can learn from the life of Kevin Gates. So for those of you who have been following Kevin Gates, or you may have heard him, he's in the past few years he's popped up on TMZ and other news outlets about some of the things that he said, some of the things he's done, from kicking a fan, a dog, and kicking a woman out of bed, and all this crazy stuff like that. And some of you may be fans of his music, and listen to his music. But it's all the more. But the point that I'm making this video is basically based upon his life and the recent, things that have happened to him as far as his jail sentencing and things like that. So as you know, Kevin Gates, he's from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He's a rapper. Obviously, if you listen to his music, you know that he was formerly affiliated with Young Money, but he signed with Atlantic. He's an independent artist. He talks a lot about, depression and, being screwed over by family members, betrayal. He talks a lot about love. He raps and he adds melodies in his raps and things like that, which makes him, his style is a lot different than other people. You know what I mean? He's lived quite the life. He talks about his trials and tribulations growing up. How he always wanted a father figure in his life, and he does something what's called reality rap. As he said in his music, he's a 2-time convicted felon. He's went to jail at a young age, which took away the fear of jail or prison, so to speak. So his influences and a lot of things caused him to go or pursue a certain path to lead up to his experiences, and him spending a lot of his time in his adult life in jail or in and out of jail, back and forth. He's got this talent and this, his captivating music and personality. It draws people in. It doesn't matter, it blurs all color lines, his music, and he's very candid about his life, the depression, like I said, in his relationships. And this is what draws so many people to him, is the fact that he talks about a lot of things that that may be considered taboo, and a lot of people don't really talk about, or they're afraid to talk about. And he says this, and he says that a lot of these things is what makes him a giant amongst men. And he has a fan base all over the world, pretty much. And he's mastered the art of being an independent artist. And in recent times, a lot of people didn't know who Kevin Gates was till 2013, where he really started making his rounds, becoming big. Some people see him as crazy and over the top. He has stated, and this is the point I want to get to a lot of people, that as far as him being a street guy or in the streets, once you take, and I said this in one of my other videos, once you enter the street or you decide you want to be a gangster or that street life, you have to accept everything that comes along with it. And this is what I say to young men as well. You know, as far as you turning to snitching, or you want to be involved in the lifestyle, all the ups, but when it comes, you know, to the downs of it, you don't want to accept responsibility for what you did, and you want to involve everyone else in it. But Kevin basically said in interviews that, you know, once you take that oath in the streets, whether willingly or unwillingly, when you jump in those streets, you have to accept everything that comes along with it. Basically, be accountable for your actions. And he says that you know, if you get caught, you know, it's the police's job to catch you, so they're only doing their job. He says this a lot of times. So if you get caught, you're just gonna have to accept responsibility for your actions. And I'm pretty sure he lives this same way now, despite all the issues he's facing. You know, as far as being accountable for his actions, and whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. You know, and he talks about that. He believes that whatever happens is supposed to happen. As many of y'all who have seen him, he's a very spiritual guy. He's a believer in fate and destiny. You know, he talks about this in a lot of his interviews. But like many people who have had a past street life before they came into the music business or became a celebrity, this street life tends to always come back up, or your past will catch up to you one way or another. You know what I mean? Whatever you do in the past or what should be hidden comes to light. So a lot of things have come back in Kevin's life that he's done in the past, you know. So he said the same thing. Y'all know about him kicking a fan down in Florida, and he was sentenced to 6 months in jail, despite what the prosecutors, you know, requested or suggested to the judge. He was sentenced for 6 months just for kicking, you know, a fan down in Florida. So anytime when you get discharged from jail or you do your time, they run your name again, and they check to see if you have any warrants. And in this case, this is what happened with Kevin. They found out that he had a weapons charge in Chicago, Illinois, where a felon in possession of a firearm. So he was, as soon as he was released, he was extradited and moved to Illinois. And obviously, according to sources saying that he basically had 2 warrants. He had a failure to appear for court, probably for a hearing for the charges when he was initially charged back in October 29, 2013, and he failed to show the court, so they issued a warrant. They issued another warrant this past December 2016, which he was in jail at this time as well. So the charge was him being in possession, a felon in possession of a firearm at that time. Obviously, he was aware of this. He was aware of this this warrant, I'm assuming, or he was aware that he got charged for it. And whatever happened, that's neither here nor there. As far as this, you know, what I really want to talk about. So, what ended up happening, you know, we hadn't heard anything for a few days after he was extradited to Illinois. So, breaking news today is he took a plea, you know, because he probably was looking at probably 10 years or better or something like that for, you know, a felon with a firearm. So he took a plea and he received 30 months. And based on him already being in jail for 34 days now, judge gave him credit for those 34 days. So I don't know what the exact law is in Chicago, but, you know, a lot of times when you're doing prison time, you know, you have to do 75% of the time. And then there's always credit for, you know, good behavior, and there's a chance of him getting out early. So these are things that he's looking at, and obviously Gates, as he said, he's built for jail. He's built for prison. You know, even though I know he, obviously at the end of the day, he doesn't want to be there because he's leaving behind a record label, his wife Drika, his 2 kids, his son, his daughter Isla, and his son casa. So he's leaving all this behind. So the thing about that is, I think this is pretty much what a lot of people would agree upon. This is the pinnacle of his career. He released the album that reached number 2 on the charts. He's sold all these records that went platinum. It's his first album. He's married. He married the love of his life. All of these things that are happening. He became a Muslim, and he made Hajj to Mecca, and out of all, the first time in his life, like you said, he's found peace. So with that being said, him finding peace for the first time in his life, he is one of the greatest things that you can find for anyone, is to find peace. And he's a believer in fate and destiny, which is one of the tenets of Islam as well. So, like I said, he believes everything that happens is supposed to happen. But what I would like for the believers, in fate and destiny, religion, and for those, the young men out there who may be looking up to Kevin, is that you must understand, like I said before, that no matter what you do in life, it's going to come up. Whatever happens in the dark will come to light. Regardless if you change your life around or whatever, things tend to come back up in your life. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you do in the dark will come to light. You know what I'm saying? He's found peace, but, things that he's done in his past has popped up at the craziest time when he's at the pinnacle of his career. And he has to deal with these things. So it's one of those things where you wonder how something like this happens. You know what I mean? Why come at this time? You know what I'm saying? Why come at this point in your life when you're established, and you have all these good things going for you? You know what I mean? You change your life, things in the past come back and bite you. You know what I mean? So what I say to that is, for those who believe in things of that nature, is that just because, when you accept or you become a born-again Christian or you convert to Islam, there's a term where you still have to expiate your sins or atone for your sins. And even though it's accepted by the Most High, so to speak, you would still have to expiate or get rid of your sins or atone for them here on earth and be accountable for your actions, which is what's going on with Kevin right now. Despite him finding peace, some people will look at, okay, he converted to Islam, why is he being punished? He's found peace. He's holy now, as he said himself, he's holy. Why is this happening to him? Just because you become a born again Christian, you convert to Islam, does not mean that you're no longer accountable for your sins, even though these things wash away your sins. You're still accountable, and you're still held to the standard of man-made law, where you have to abide by the law of the land. And this is a case of that with him. So what I would say to you young men, as Kevin would say, is, keep your nose clean, and be a man of great morals and principles. Think about what it is that you're doing before you do it. If you are in a situation or in a place where you feel that there's danger ahead of time, then you need to think about that before you go there, and you don't even need to be there. Be your own man. Don't follow the crowd or do what somebody else wants you to do just to be cool or just to be down. It's not necessary. You know what I mean? It happens. This man is a multi-millionaire, and as he's seen, and he's probably already content with it anyway, his money couldn't even get him out of this situation. He has to do close to 3 years, which I believe he's done 30 months before in the past. So that's close to 6 years that this man is doing. You know what I mean? But he's being accountable for his actions. You know what I mean? And it's something he has to deal with. And if he's truly found peace, then he has no issue dealing with this, because like he said, he took that oath when he got into street life, and y'all should think about the same thing. You know what all comes along. It's glamorous. It looks good, but you have to think about what all comes along with that. So be your own man. You know, think positive. Think about your future before you jump into the actions and all these other things. You know, be a man of great morals and principles. You know, and just think about that and look at him as an example. A man who has achieved so much in just a few years. And him finding peace, him becoming, you know, religious, so to speak. But he still has to atone and expiate his sins. So I just wanted to touch on that. You know, hopefully you younger guys and you fans of Gates and those who are involved in the street life can look at that, because nobody makes it out alive in the streets. So, or you really grows old in the streets. So just food for thought. I hope you guys, like the video. Make sure you share it. Make sure you hit the thumbs up right now. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Make sure you subscribe, share the video as well. Check me out on social media. Links is in the description, Instagram and Facebook. Feel free to throw a couple coins in the well of wisdom. The link is in the description as well. And as Kevin would say, remember that anything lost can be found again except for time wasted. A vision without action is merely a dream. Everyone is subject to causality, no matter what you do. You do something, there's cause and effect. Everyone is subject to that. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you have money or not. Money may make a situation better, but sometimes it doesn't. So peace be upon you all, and God's mercy and blessings, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.